And right now, I have the honor to present to you Ty Defoe. So I want to, before we bring up Ty for their set, we have just some quick information. Ty is a member of the Oneida and Anishinaabe nations. He is an indigenous queer two-spirit interdisciplinary artist placed on earth to make social change and uplift the environment. Ty utilizes art to connect everything together in the great hoop of life. And what an honor it is to be here with you, Ty. How you doing, Ty?
Hey, Boozhoo. I'm feeling really good. I'm outside today getting some fresh air on the roof here
Yes.
in Matahata, Lenape Kobe.
Yes, yes. Ty, I gotta say that we haven't met in person, but when I saw you in the promo video, I was like, oh, Ty has a special light. So I'm really looking forward to your set. How are you feeling today? How are you feeling during these times right now? How's your heart?
Yeah, well, my heart is heavy, and it's also burning with fire and joy all at the same time, mixed
Mm.
emotions, for brothers and sisters over in the Twin Cities in Minneapolis, the traditional homelands of the Dakotas, and as well as some of my ancestors, the Anishinaabe over there. So I wanted to actually dedicate the set today to all the folks there in the Twin Cities who need some special medicine today of healing.
Yes. Thank you so much for that time. I'm really looking forward to your set. And with that, I'm gonna pass it over to you. Take us away. Give us some of that good medicine.
Oh, aho, miigwech. Aho, aho, bujuani ne yayin yishiginish nakaz waswaganin and duntipa magiza nindo dem. Wabanong jaunong naga binong menoki wedonong migwech kae gakinigego na baganin na gade go making migwech ki jemane do adapanan ao asema. Hello and good day, relatives from all over the world. Especially shout out to folks that are needing some medicine and some love today. Playing some flute, telling some stories to the soundscape here in the traditional lands of the Lenape folks here in Lenape Kohing. And also shout out to folks at the American Indian Community House. This is all this medicine is for all the organizing and work that you're doing. I'd like to share some of these songs. These are traditional Horidoshoni songs of the Six Nations people. Yane weno weno ho yane weno yane yo weno yane weno yane weno yane weno ho yane weno ho yane weno ho yane weno yane yo weno yane weno yane weno ho Yane weno wano hoshane. Yane weno wano hoshane wano. Yane yo wanu yane wano. Yane wanu yane wano hoshane. Yane weno wano hoshane. Yo! Aya he ane no hayo. Aya he ane no hayo. Aya he ane no hayo. Hey ya hey yo. Yahoo hey yo ha hey ya hey yo hey. Yo ya hey ane no hayo. Aya hey ane no hayo. Aya hey ane no hayo. Hey ya hey yo. Yahoo hey yo ha hey ya hey yo hey. Ya ha hey ya hey. Ya ha hey yo hey. Ya ha hey yo hey. Miigwech, miigwech. That was a shout out to all the folks in the East Coast here, the Haudenosaunee people, and we pronounce it. If you can say this with me out there in the internet world, Haudenosaunee, right? Haudenosaunee. You say that? Haudenosaunee. Yeah, you gotta say it like you really mean it. Haudenosaunee. Yeah, and that means people of the longhouse, right? People of the longhouse. And these are the things that we do when there's times of need and times of gathering and celebration. We sing songs and we tell stories so that we can continue to, to thrive with each other and amongst one another. This next story I'd like to dedicate to my father, the Anishinaabe people. So as you heard, I'm Anishinaabe and nobody's perfect. I'm also Haudenosaunee from two different nations. And this story is called The Wolf and the Winterberries. Accompanying me is the drum that was gifted to me, adorned with the flowers of the Anishinaabe people. Before my father lost his leg last week, he told me this story over the phone. He said, when he was a boy, my grandmother sent him to go look for wintergreen berries. And if you don't know what it is, it's a small berry that's surrounded by 4 green leaves, and it's used for teas and also to flavor my grandmother's venison hash. And now I know where my secret obsession for these fruit leathers from Trader Joe's comes from. So once my dad, he was out in the woods by Lake Superior, and he always took his binoculars with him because even as a kid, he was nearsighted. That day, he picked a ton of wintergreen berries, and he put them in jars, and he put them on his back, and he started home. And as he was leaving, he looks out by the lake, out over the ridge, and there were 10 wolves there standing, looking down at him. So he took out his binoculars, and more wolves started to come into focus. Sure enough, the wolf pack started to line up. And he said it looked like there was a forest filled with them. So he turned around, and he just kept walking. And he started to bang one of the top of the jars, just like a song. And it sounded like this. Mainga, hey, hey, mainga, hey. Mainga, hey, hey, mainga, hey. Mainga, hey, 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 hey. Mainga, mainga, hey, hey, ainga, hey. Mainga, hey, hey, ainga, hey. So they didn't run, these wolves. They just stood there listening. And then all of a sudden, they came walking towards him in his direction. And they were led by this grayish-black wolf. It was almost like an alpha wolf. And my dad said he could hear the howling of the birch like a call in response to his song. And that's when more wolves started to come. The pack split circle and surrounded him. And he said there were hundreds of them like families. And they were only 20 yards away from him. And my dad froze. And the wolves were still there, and they just stood there staring at each other. He said they popped their noses into the air, and they were catching his scent to see if he was a predator. So over the phone, when I called my dad to ask him these questions, I asked him, I said, "Dad, were you scared?" And he said, well, what do you mean? I said, well, tell me about this. What did you do? And he said, I just stood still and watched their muscles make their fur roll over the bones in their body with each breath. He said, for the first time, I could see a type of sharpness in their eyes. And for the first time, I understood what Mainga, wolf, meant. And I said, well, Dad, weren't you afraid you'd be eaten by a wolf? And he laughed and he said, Gaween, no, I'm not food for them. And I said, well, what did they want? What were they doing? And he said, son, they want freedom. When he was telling me this story, he said all of the wolves turned and left him alone, all but this little one, this little tiny small cub. And it was limping and it came so close to him. My dad had a winterberry in his hand that he pulled from the jar, and he tossed that winterberry to the little cub. And the cub looked down and sniffed it and turned and ran away. My dad, he said he thinks the little wolf was sort of like laughing and limping at him because he thought it was going to get him. When my dad finally made it back home, he encountered my grandma, and my grandma said, where did you get these winterberries for this venison hash? And my dad pulled out all the jars that he used for this, and he told her this story, and he sang her that song. And my dad turned to my grandma, gave her a hug, and my grandma said, see, son, all wolves need freedom to be free. I said, Dad, I'll call you next week. My dad laughed and said, okay, don't get eaten by a wolf out there. And I said, you too, I'll be okay. So this song is the drum song, and it originates from that story. Miigwech. So today I got one last song to share with you all out there, and it's really great being connected in this way that we can here. And this song goes out to all those people too who are organizing, who are just doing the work. So this is all for you. I'm playing on the flute. Oh, knikwech. Extra bonus for the little ones, if you were listening to that. Miigwech, everyone. One shout out to my family back home if you're watching this, and wanted to make sure everyone's got their mask. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. This is Ty Defoe, Gijig, Anishinaabe, Horidoshoni Nations. And shout out and thank you to Justice Beats for having me be here today. Aho.